Welcome to the 10th video in the Getting Started with Analyst Notebook series. In this video, we'll look at the Select toolbar in the ribbon menu of Analyst Notebook. The Select toolbar is divided into 4 sections. Selection sets for working with collections of items. Select items for selecting multiple items on the chart. Extend selections for adding to existing chart selections. And Select by type to select specific item types. For this video, we'll use the Association and Timeline example chart, as well as the Social Network Analysis example chart, both of which can be found using the Example Charts shortcut. The location and installation of the example materials was covered in detail in the Getting Started example materials video. In the previous videos, we've selected individual items on the chart by clicking with the mouse, and made multiple selections using either Control-click or by drawing a box. However, Analyst Notebook also provides more selection methods in the Selections toolbar. To start with, we will look at the Select Items section of the toolbar. We'll return to selection sets later. Select All simply selects all items on the chart, ideal for if you wish to copy an entire chart into another chart or into another document. The Invert tool unselects all currently selected items on the chart while selecting all those not previously selected. Sometimes it's quicker to select what you don't want and then invert the selection, for example if you want almost all of the items on a chart. The Leaf Entities tool only selects those entities on the chart that either have a single connection or no connections. Depending on the chart data and type of information, leaf entities may be less relevant than more highly connected entities, so you may wish to remove or hide them on the chart. We will now move on to the Extend Selections tools, which allow you to expand the selection based on current selections on the chart. If we select a bank account and then click Connections, we have now selected the transactions and other connections directly to or from that account. Clicking the Ends tool will now select the link ends of the currently selected links. The Connection and Ends tool does the same actions as the previous two tools, but in a single step. The outbound and inbound tools can be used on charts with link direction, for example on transaction or telephone call data. By selecting a telephone on the chart and clicking the inbound tool, we can select the phone calls received and select the telephones which they came from. Using the outbound tool, we can select the calls placed from that phone and select the call destinations as well. To look at the Between Selected tools, we will use the Social Network Analysis example chart so that we can see more clearly how they work. We will select 3 of the people on this chart. Using the Links Between Selected Entities function of the Between Selected tool, we can select the direct connections between these items. Selecting the 3 chart entities again, we will now use the Entities Linked to More Than One Selected Entity function. Here it has selected the links and link ends that are directly connected to more than one of the original selected items. For example, Jack Davidson is linked to both Michelle Ralph and Irene Baker. We will now return to the other chart to look at the Select by Type section of the toolbar. The Item Type Selection tool selects all of the items on the chart of a particular item type, for example, male or female. The Semantic Type Selection tool will select items based on their semantic type. For example, by selecting the semantic type Person, all items of that semantic type group will be selected, including in this example chart the Male, Female and Professional Male item types. We will now return to the Selection Sets section of the toolbar that we skipped over earlier. Selection sets allow the user to group together information of interest. There are 10 selection sets that can be used for a chart. Currently, we have all the people on the chart selected. We can use these to define the content of a selection set. Define Set takes the currently selected items and adds them to the chosen empty set. Set membership for a chart item is indicated by a highlighted set number. If we then select the telephones on the chart, we can choose to define a second set in the same way. Now let's add another person to the chart. If we wish to add him to the existing set containing people, we can choose Add to Set on the drop-down menu for the set of people we created earlier. We now have 2 selection sets. By pressing the corresponding number key on the keyboard for each set, we can automatically select all the members of the set on the chart. This provides a simple way to work with collections of data. And finally, Clear All Sets clears all populated sets in the chart. In summary, we've taken a look at the Select toolbar in the ribbon menu. We've used it to select one or more chart items, select associated items on the chart for current selections, selectively chosen specific item types, and to add collections of chart items to selection sets. Please look out for the next video in this series, and thanks very much for your time.